All right, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It is Monday. That's right, November 24th, 2025. I hope everybody's doing out there. So I would say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Yes, sir, we are the week of Thanksgiving. That's right. 4 days away will be Thanksgiving way. Yeah. But these network naggers and cocks in the prep video crew, they ain't taking for shit. Especially them midget blowbox. He ain't done. But I got a clip right here. He just green as fuck at the buffet again. Here we go. Time to head out. You've been asked to leave multiple times. I'm not done! I paid for all you can eat. This is all I can eat. We understand with the restaurant's closing, you have to go. Let go of the plate. These are my plates. Time to head out. You've been asked to leave multiple times. I'm not done. I paid for all you can eat. This is all I can eat. We understand with the restaurant's closing, you have to go. Let go of the plate. These are my plates. Oh, he just can't help that. But we're having fun. But I'm really going to run through some case crushing clears and good times. Starting with this one. An ICE agent got busted. Yeah. Hey, I'm ICE, boys. Here we go.
An ICE employee arrested, caught in a sex trafficking ring.
Yep.
Tells the cops, I'm ICE, boys, as if he has more authority than the police who are investigating sexual trafficking crimes.
Oh, yeah. Hey, I see UD's supposed to go live.
This is an interesting and sad story. So there's this guy in Minnesota. He's a nice employee. He is now one of 16 men arrested in a sex trafficking sting. That's according to the responding police officers in charge of this investigation. They arrested him regardless. They made note. He said, quote, I'm ICE, boys.
Yep. I'm ICE, boys.
He told the responding cops. More than a dozen men have been arrested after trying to solicit what? A minor. For sex in Bloomington, Minnesota, according to the police. According to the Bloomington Police Chief, Booker Hodges, officers started the 3-day sting on November 5th. They used several methods to find people who were attempting to solicit a 17-year-old girl for sex. In all, police arrested 16 men during the investigation, which Hodges called Operation Creep.
Operation Creep?
He said, is an employee for ICE, Immigration and Customs Enforcement, who could face federal charges, according to the report.
I wish that we could use an Operation Creep to get blow by
Alexander
Creep bandit,
Stephen
Fennel Fendom, and some of the barking puppies.
41 years of age, auditor with ICE in Robbinsdale, Minnesota, was arrested as part of that operation.
Turn down a little bit.
The police chief, Hodges, announced at a news conference on Tuesday, November 8th, according to Beck's criminal complaint, which was obtained by people, Beck allegedly responded to an advertisement. You have to understand how ridiculous this is, and how utterly evil the inside man in the house. This is. This guy responded to an advertisement. It was a 3-day sting. We're not talking about an exhaustive investigation.
Yep.
He works for ICE. Responded to an advertisement offering what? Prostitution services.
Yo, prostitution services.
It's like fishing in a barrel, obviously. Huh. So there's an advertisement that says prostitutes here.
Wow.
This individual who works for ICE engaged. This was placed by the officers conducting the operation. So an undercover cop posed as a 17-year-old girl named Bella. Bella texted him that day, quote, here's the quote now. You okay? I'm a little younger than my assets. Just want to be honest, according to the complaint.
Back allegedly replied.
Back allegedly
Sure.
replied, sure. Quote, okay, because I am 17 and one guy got mad at me. The officer replied. Back asked if they were, quote, with the cops. End quote.
And the thing about it, a lot of times when you watch the predator poachers, catches, the creeps that get busted out, they're like, hey, you work with life? And they're like Alex and the rest of those guys, and they're like, oh, no, we're not cops. We're not cops. But a lot of times they can get a hold of cops real quick like that. And we know, it has to see keywords like Alex just says, man, I'm hungry for fried pickles. Aaron and Pet Poachers, Illinois, says, oh, my ass scratches like that. Douglas Jr., man, I'm hungry for some bagels like that. They have little keywords to get the cops around there, or they'll make the large sketches that make the bread feel comfortable, like that. And they'll say 20 minutes in, half an hour in, all of a sudden they'll say the magic word, maybe tip the cap, or scratch their head, or say afraid. Boom! Yep, that's when their team called the cops.
Officer assured him they were not, gave him an address in Bloomington. That one question is evidence of a guilty conscience. Mens rea has been formed. Criminal intent has been established. Needing to make sure that before this deal goes down, there are no police. Are you the police? As a matter of fact, let me ask you, are you the police? As long as you're not the police, we can continue. And so the question, ironically, was probably posed because he's under the impression that if the question is posed directly, cannot be dishonest. Why else would you ask that? Okay, so he arrives in a vehicle. The vehicle is registered to who? His wife. Went back allegedly, arrived in the vehicle, registered to his other half. Police arrested him, seized his phone. Back is charged with prostitution-related felony offense, hiring or agreeing to hire a person reasonably believed to be under the age of 18, but at least 16. When he was arrested, he said,
many states the age of consent is 16.
I'm ICE, boys, Hodges said during a press conference on Tuesday. And then the chief says, well, unfortunately for him, we locked him up. End quote.
Oh, I love it. I said, hey, I'm ICE, man. I got more credentials than many of you
was
get
released
police
on a
officer.
$75,000 bond 2 days later. Records show. Back could not immediately be reached at a phone number that was public. DHS has placed Alexander back on administrative leave. Assuming he's still getting a check. He has not been fired. He was part of an investigation. They have evidence of his actions being complicit in the criminal scheme, according to the allegation. He gets administrative leave. There is no DHS director or executive who's outraged by this. There's an employee for the federal agency who tried to solicit a minor and got caught by a local police department in a 3-day sting because they put an advertisement out in the world that said prostitutes here. I can't imagine that's his first time responding to such a solicitation, let's call it. All right, Senator, this is a dangerous individual who has significant access to a high-level position and a position of public trust at that.
The power, and hopefully he won't be for much longer. And like your point about where is their outrage, they find all kinds of minute stuff to be outraged about, but they should be outraged about this. The man is dumb too. Doc, really.
He's dumb. He's
I wouldn't have told nobody I work for ICE because I'd be too embarrassed for my sisters and brothers and family and friends that do work for ICE to malign the integrity of the people who work for ICE, setting aside the raids. I'm not talking about the stuff that they are directed to do. We got to understand that there are people in suits directing these people to do these raids. But I wouldn't have never told nobody. So he thought what? That was going to get him off the hook for breaking the law?
Yeah.
Then you roll up in your wife's car. I mean, come on, dude. Just no respect whatsoever. I mean, it's one thing you about to totally disrespect her all the way, but you roll up in her car. And then my third point, Doc, there are plenty of adults, men and women, who work in this profession. They work in this profession, they grown, and they are for hire. But yet this dude had a propensity for minors.
Yeah.
It's plain and simple. It's just sick. It's an absolute sick, and he should... Doc, I hope you follow this one because I want to know what's going to happen to him for this.
Me too.
Yeah, and we want to make sure, obviously, that the White House doesn't step in like they did for Tate and probably a few other folk.
Yes.
Caught up in a similar situation.
Yeah, and I said before, I mean, look at the Brad Pitt, man. They have a propensity for minors, man. They talk about kids, children, every day, all the time. Worry about pedophilia like that. I mean, come on. Blowbot had a stream that said, "Slow children at play." Who makes a stream title? "Slow children at play." There you have it. Here we go. We got another good one rolling up here. Kate Carson clips in the KC Studios on a Monday morning. Yeah. Live in your face.
How old did she tell you she was? Okay.
An elementary school music teacher is caught red-handed, sexting who he thought was a middle schooler, allegedly asking for naked pics, talking about sex positions, and taking her virginity. He says it was all because he was in a sexless marriage, but a sting operation soon finds he's allegedly spent more than $1,000 on child porn in the last year alone.
I love working with kids, like genuinely love working with kids.
Right.
Like, I don't know what that was. That's not, to me, that's not who I am.
This is Scandal, presented by Law and Crime. I'm Sierra Gillespie. I said it right at the start of this episode. We've got an elementary school music teacher accused of trying to involve a middle schooler in a sex act. But that's not all. He's also married to another teacher in the district, and he's also a father of 2 toddlers. So this man has multiple children and was still caught, allegedly, trying to get a 13-year-old girl to have sex with him.
This was the bus by
wasn't a middle schooler at
Alex
all. In fact, it was a
and Michael,
29-year-old undercover person.
Unfortunately, his sound's gone now.
We got the messages that this defendant sent to the undercover decoy. Again, who he thought was
and I've explained that in my last video at the park.
And they're not looking so good for him. Today's scandal brings us to Long Island, specifically Wading River, New York, where 37-year-old Mark Verity worked as an elementary school music teacher.
Yikes.
And I say worked as in past tense.
Yeah, he ain't working there no more.
Has recently been suspended from Wading River Elementary School because of the scandal I'm about to lay out for you. Now, everything begins with Predator Poachers Long Island, which is a group that seeks out people attempting to commit internet crimes against children and catches them in sting operations. And that's what seemingly happened in the case of Mark Verity. Now, it started with messages through Kip, which is an app that's frequently used in cases like this because it doesn't require a phone number to register, so you can remain more anonymous. On top of that, it's also pretty popular with kids, so child predators really like this app.
She makes a point because there's so many social media apps that you don't need phone number. I heard like Telegram, Kik, like Meet Me. You don't need number. You can have a handle, email address, set up a password, and you could use a picture, and you're good to go. Bam, like that. See, we all sign up for YouTube, Google. We have to have a phone number to back it up because we need to verify ourselves. Facebook is the same way. But some of these little social media, I mean, all you can do is email. Oh, just send me the code. Boom. Oh, just put an address. You're good to go. Like that.
Now, according to Predator Poachers Long Island, Mark started messaging who he thought was a 13-year-old girl via Kik, telling her things like, quote, "You're very cute." What he didn't realize was that he was actually speaking to an adult who used AI
and the thing about Mark was
to help
he wanted to see
this
this 13-year-old girl wearing a skirt
After
or
about
leggings,
an hour of messaging on
or he wanted to see the girl in bra and panties. I remember this.
According to the New York Post, Mark began asking this girl for nude pics and attempted to meet up with her for sex. Now, interestingly, Mark was allegedly honest about being in a relationship. This is what he told the 13-year-old about his wife, quote, "You're prettier anyway. I'd make sure you got the same attention." According to Predator Poachers Long Island, he also asked about the girl's bra cup size and how far she'd gone sexually with boys in her past. The girl told Mark she'd only kissed boys before, and he reportedly replied saying she has, quote, "great lips for kissing." In another situation, he allegedly asked her what sexual position she would try and talked about taking her virginity, saying he would be, quote, "super gentle." Now, a lot of this information comes from court docs, but we do.
I remember Mark wanted to decoy to see her
screenshots of what Mark exactly said. So let's start with this conversation after a phone call happened, and you can see both Mark and the alleged 13-year-old reference that. Mark sends a smiley face, and this 13-year-old replies, "Hee hee, now can I see your face?" "What do you think?" Mark says. She says, "You sound nice." Mark says, "You sound old."
Here, I'm going to stop that because I'm going to put that in the big screen here real quick. Damn it. Tab here. I want to show it real quick. Okay, here it is. Okay. Let's see if I can flip it here. See if you can see, get a better view for here. Okay, right there it is, right there. Oh, sorry, camera's not coming in good. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Shut that off. All right, there we go.
Older than you are, LOL. This 13-year-old says, "LOL, so I'm perfect for an older guy," and adds emojis with tongues out. "Very true," LOL, Mark says. "Sorry if I was awkward. Never spoken to a girl your age before, TBH, to be honest. So, yeah. Hee, that's okay. It was cute," this girl replies. Mark says, "You sure?" Big eyes emoji. "Yeah, I've talked to other older guys before, and usually on the phone they seem so nervous. So how did I get so lucky to be the first girl my ... And that's where the conversation cuts off. But in a second conversation, things get more intense. Mark says, "I think you could show me a thong or a bra. That's reasonable. No nudes, in person only." So she sends a picture of underwear. "Here you go, LOL." Mark says, "I meant on you, silly girl. Hee hee." The 13-year-old replies, "Hee hee, IDK. I've never taken a pic like that before. Some guy might steal my phone and send it to himself." Now, we've blurred the image in the next Snapchat, even though it was created with AI, and it is not real. I want to be very specific about this. This is a fake image. However, it's supposed to be, and what Mark believes, is a 13-year-old child's underwear. So she sends this underwear picture with 2 emojis of monkeys covering their eyes, and Mark says that's a D, good start, with 3 heart eye emojis.
And the thing about these catchers, I mean, they can alter, like, put a young girl face on a grown body, or they can alter, like, you know, like it's a young girl's body, say, like she's wearing a bra and panties like that. No face. Say, "Well, yeah, this is me here. Sorry, I can't show a face. Kind of embarrassed, you know, like monkey beach. I'm embarrassed, you know, like that."
"Your legs are sexy AF." Now, the day after these messages were sent, Mark reportedly kept messaging who he thought was this 13-year-old girl throughout his school day. As far as we know, he had no idea what was about to happen. Okay, you guys know what is the worst? All of these spam calls that are non-stop. And you get a call, especially from your hometown. You answer, "Oh my God, is it an emergency?" No, it's just another annoying spam call. I hate them. You hate them. However, today's sponsor, Incogni, can help. Incogni gives you the power to fight back and regain control of your identity. They scour the web to find which data brokers are holding all of your info, and then demand them to delete it. When I signed up, they flagged more than 50 data brokers who had all of my data.
That's right, baby.
I started receiving less spam calls immediately. Gaining back control online takes just minutes. Create an account, authorize Incogni on your behalf, and then they handle the heavy lifting. So take your personal data back with Incogni.
Sorry, I can't press for it because here's the case too.
At the
We
link
gotta be
below and get
advertised too. We gotta pay the
60%
bills
off
around
an
here.
annual plan. That's incogni.com/scandal. When the day wrapped up, Mark was confronted outside of the school by predator poachers Long Island. And all of this was recorded on camera. Now, this video was provided to us, the Scandal Squad, courtesy of Predator Poachers Long Island.
Hey, Mr. Verity.
And Predator Poachers.
Good, how's it going? I'm Douglas Team Jr. How old did she tell you she was? Okay. See, appreciate you being honest, man. That's all we want to do right now is have an honest conversation about the situation. What about you made you want? Like, what about her made you want to like keep talking like that?
Yeah, I'm really sorry. I had no idea.
Yeah.
And I knew I was.
How did she even find you in the first place?
I was in a chat room on Kick for what was supposed to be like adults.
Okay.
What I thought was adults chat room.
Yeah.
I'm gonna stop that because we got a breaking message. The midget at another event, it gets kicked out because he's been there for 4 hours all morning. Here it is.
Sir, we need you to head outside now. I'm still eating, man. I paid for the buffet. You've been here 4 hours. Management wants you gone. I ain't done with my plate. Look, got chicken right here. That's the door frame. Sir, we need you to head outside now. I'm still eating, man. I paid for the buffet. You've been here 4 hours. Management wants you gone. I ain't done with my plate. Look, got chicken right here. That's the door frame. Out.
Hey, Flimpot, get out. You're done. You've been with 4 hours.
Yeah.
To me, in my mind, says married people.
Right.
Back to the
So I was
program,
under the assumption in the initial that we were related.
Yeah.
Initially.
Mhm.
I'm not going to sit here and lie to you that I didn't know otherwise.
No, yeah.
I know that it was wrong. I know that I messed up. That is 100% on me. Like, I love what I do. I love where I work. Like, I love the job that I have.
Yeah.
I love working with kids. Like, genuinely love working with kids.
Right.
Like, I don't know what that was. It's not.
I got a good one coming
To
up.
me, that's not who I am.
Good one.
To me, I'm a music teacher. That's what I do. I work with kids. Like, I love what I do here.
Yeah.
I don't want to jeopardize that. I don't want to lose that. I don't want to lose the family that I have, the amazing things that I have. Like,
As you can see, Mark admits that he was messaging with someone who he thought was a 13-year-old girl and acknowledges that the messages were wildly inappropriate.
there's a lot of flirting about
She's a nice. I used to be more young.
the fact that she was interested in older guys, that she had talked to older guys before, then we had talked about flirted about like outfits for the days. We talked about a lot more. I mean, we talked about like changing system and
Yeah.
we talked about it.
How did it get to a point where it got control
I'll
like
be back
that?
soon. We'll get some grub real food.
Had for me, I mean, I definitely was the one to push that a little bit.
Okay.
Like,
So what about her like made you, given her age and everything, what about her made you make it sexual?
part of it might have been the flirting, but like also it could have been like my wife is a more petite woman.
Mm-hmm.
Like it might have been like she talked a little bit like she was older at times, but like I don't know.
I mean, some kids are mature like that.
You gotta wonder about a motive in a case like this, and Mark actually explains it all. He says he's in a sexless marriage.
At home, in terms of my marriage, in terms of actually in my marriage, I think maybe because things have been not as regular, for lack of a better phrase. I don't know how else to put it.
Like life's not really.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that maybe that played a role in that. I don't know. But I just know that I could never physically ever, like, in person, ever do that. I know that, like, I spoke to someone on the phone and talked with her. Know that, you know, like, how it is. I'm not going to sit here and beat around the bush on that. Exactly. I get it. So I know I talked about it, and I know there was discussion about it, and
so
positions.
Positions.
I know where,
Okay.
And I think in my mind, the idea of flirting about it and talking about it and having, like, the affection talked about and everything is something that I don't have at home. And so I think it's like maybe it was an attention seeking thing in that moment.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, but again, I could never physically really actually do it. And I know I think there was flirting about that.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna go around the bush and try to hide that. Like, there was discussion over, like, how good, but, like, push comes to shove, I could never.
The predator catchers asked more specifics about the pictures that Mark requested and what he was hoping to receive.
Were there any photos sent between the two of you all?
I sent a picture of my face.
Okay.
Like myself in my blue shirt.
Mm-hmm.
She sent her face. She sent a picture of a pair of underwear and a picture of that underwear on her. At least it looked like it was on her.
Sure.
Yeah, and so you're saying the underwear? Okay, on the thigh. So
just the thigh.
Oh, okay. Did you ask for maybe a little more than that?
I did.
Okay. What exactly did you ask for?
I'd asked for her to stand up. I had asked for to see either her in the bra and the thong.
So by
standing up, more, I think is what I had said.
So what did you mean by more?
Like, I think I said more after she sent the picture of it on her.
Mm-hmm.
I think when I was saying more, I meant, like, I think I was implying in the bra and the thong. I like standing up in them to see preference.
Right.
Okay.
There was at some point where, she was asked, "Hey, what's under your comfy clothes?" And she responded with nothing.
And maybe I did ask to see that. I'm sorry, I forgot.
Well, so on your end it said prove it. What would that? What does that mean?
I think, like, genuinely, it was either, I'm trying to think of what in my mind at the time, it was either to, like, pull down the shorts so that I could see that there was no underwear, or, like, you know what I'm saying? I mean, it could have meant the other way too, but it just meant take it off.
Okay.
Yeah.
Take
the clothes off.
And here's yet another bombshell. Mark tells the predator catchers he spent approximately $1,000 on child porn in the last year and has access to a, quote, mega link.
When's the last time you've seen something like that? Whatever the answer is, I'm not going to judge you.
Yeah.
When's the last time you think you saw something like that?
What, like
child?
Yeah.
The Telegram Dropbox, like whatever, mega something.
Mega link. Yeah.
Somebody sent me.
On Telegram.
On Telegram, I want to say.
Okay.
That I looked at. I did not purchase, but that I looked at.
Like how many files were on Mega Link?
This conversation continues, but I do want to point out, midway through it all, some police officers approach, so keep an eye out for that.
So when did this curiosity towards this younger age group kind of become a thing? I mean, I'm asking this because it's, obviously...
Yeah, given the circumstances, yeah.
And I'm not saying that means that, there's no more teaching. I'm just saying that it's important to know and figure it out. Well, this would be help, right?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe 10 years ago.
What do you think it was?
Did you?
I genuinely don't know.
Did you have this interest before becoming a teacher? That's what you say.
How long have you been a teacher for?
15 years.
Okay. So how do you think this interest? So since you've been a teacher,
I understand how it looks.
22.
Yeah.
So how do you think this interest developed?
I don't know.
Have there been any?
Maybe like thinking back on high school friends that high school girls that I was very interested in when I was in high school. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah.
Thinking on when they were in high school with me, maybe.
So you don't think you ever kind of grew out of that phase,
I don't know, maybe.
Did you ever do anything when you were in high school with maybe someone in middle school? Because you seem to be in that 13, 16 range.
I had my first girlfriend. I was 15.
Yeah.
She was. Hi.
How's it going?
Hey.
Basically,
Yeah, temporary.
she's an elementary school teacher. You're not going to ask a 13-year-old to have.
Hi.
Yeah.
You're not going to ask a 13-year-old to have again, are you?
Yeah.
Last time doing this stupid.
You're not gonna ask for pictures or anything like that.
Is this your last time with that crap?
Ever. Okay.
Yeah, I used to teach right across the street.
Yeah.
So.
You're not gonna access child telegram anymore. Done doing that.
I obviously have no idea what happened. So what's going on? Take him to the front of the car. Just make sure he doesn't go anywhere and just grab ID from him.
Yeah. And he's used that phone to access child. So.
Do you have
your
ID?
Yeah, it's in the car.
Yeah.
And these are your chats. You can
Okay, but he's on
we'll just hold on.
Yeah.
So my boss is coming out.
All right.
Obviously, these situations are.
Yeah, no, we know. It's in my jacket.
Oh, right.
Mark Verity was taken into custody and now faces charges of attempted dissemination of indecent material to a minor first degree, attempted use of a child less than 17 years of age in a sexual performance sexually motivated, and another charge, attempted use of a child less than 17 years of age in a sexual performance. Mark was arraigned in Suffolk County Criminal Court on Saturday. His bail was set at $75,000 cash, $150,000 bond, or $750,000 partially secured bond. And according to the New York Post, Mark's parents were in attendance at the hearing, and they actually put up their own home as collateral.
Wow, unreal.
Meanwhile, Mark Verity has been suspended from work at Wading River Elementary School. A statement from the district superintendent reads in part, quote, "I'm writing as a follow-up to last night's message regarding a Wading River school teacher who's been removed from not be permitted on school grounds pending the outcome of the investigation." About that investigation, the Suffolk County Police Department says in part, quote, "At this point in the investigation, there is no evidence that any student was a victim. The district is cooperating with the investigation." Now, thankfully, this case ended before any real children were harmed, but it could have been so much worse. And there's a lot I want to talk about as far as the repercussions and all of that. So let's bring on today's guest.
The thing is, a lot of these, catches, all stuff like that. Most of them are, fake decoys like that. No real person has been hurt. Unfortunately, there has been some catches where there are real victims before as well. But I'm very thankful there's catches, scenes, and decoys earlier that. And I remember Angela and Freddie Eddie were conspiring against decoys and catchers like that. Want to shut them down. Yeah, because they wanted to protect fucking pedophiles and Fred. Yeah, sickos and mavs and creeps. Just like people are conspiring to keep that sicko road in Fort Collins on the air. So, no, that fucker should never be on the air. Sex offenders, the only time it should be on the internet is to check into a probation officer or filing for a job application.
It's former criminal prosecutor and author of the book Open Bar, which is about a sexual misconduct scandal kind of like this. It's Dan Shore. Dan, thanks for coming on with us today. And I guess I'll start with kind of the most basic question here. The fact that nothing actually happened. Thankfully, no kids were harmed. Any photos that were exchanged were all AI. They weren't real. But obviously, he can still be prosecuted, right?
Absolutely. And I was a sex crimes prosecutor involved in many cases like this. And most of the evolution in this law started about 20 years ago, where people would sometimes say explicit things online, but they would say, oh, well, the person wasn't actually underage, so they shouldn't be prosecuted. And the laws started to change to say that if someone messaged someone in an explicit way and believed that the person was underage, that is a crime. So that now, it's about 20 years, that's being prosecuted. The law is constantly trying to keep up with people who are committing crimes like this because technology evolves, especially with online activity. So the law evolves to catch up. But yes, he expressed in these text messages that he was aware that this person was underage. So even if they weren't, that is still a crime under current law.
No, that.
To me, it shows intent, right? The fact that he believes that this person is 13, even if they're not. He shows in the messages exchanged he believes and thinks this person is 13. Then talks about, sexually explicit images, requests them, talking about, taking her virginity, things like that.
Yeah.
Is intent really big for prosecutors here?
Absolutely, and when there's no actual sexual act, intent is almost the whole part of the prosecution, because you have to prove that the person intended to have an explicit sexual conversation where they were proposing sexual activity with someone who they believed was underage, even though in this case, the person was not a young underage person. It was part of a vigilante group. That's a really interesting concept that people are trying to show that people are engaged in this type of conduct, document it, and the intent here is huge because if someone has the intent to do that, there's a reason to believe as society that they might do it with someone else who actually is underage. So society wants to find that out earlier and prosecute people who are expressing that intent. And as you said, there's no subtlety in these messages. The person who purports to be the underage girl is writing about how she's lucky that she's like the first person that's underage that he's reached out to. He acknowledges she's underage, talks about sexual acts that he wants to have with her. And that's the thing that's interesting now with technology is so much of this misconduct is documented in a way that it wasn't 20, 25 years ago with text messages, social media. And you would think people would be afraid to put in writing their intent here, but we see over and over again that people do. People think that they're safe. They think I think a lot of it is emboldening that people get away with certain interactions like this and they think they can get away with more. And if law enforcement or some other group like this is recording the conversations or documenting them, then that's extremely strong evidence.
Okay, I'm so glad you brought this up because I've done countless stories and it blows my mind. Like, I literally am grabbing my temple right now because it blows my mind that over and over we have people, this case included, where they're putting these explicitly in written form that can come back as receipts that prosecutors can have on a platter and say, well, you said it at this date, at this time, at this location, so tell me about that intent. Okay, so I have a couple of questions about this. Number one, the fact that some of these messages were via Kik and then Snapchat, I'm wondering if that shows Snapchat, for instance, consciousness of guilt, just in the way that Snapchat messages are known to delete unless you screenshot them or specifically save them. I know a lot of people go on Snapchat specifically for these reasons so that the messages will kind of go away. However, those of us kind of in the field know nothing is completely deleted. So I guess that's my first question in all of this. Snapchat, consciousness of guilt. Are you connecting the dots in the way that I am?
Yeah, absolutely. And I see this in a lot of the cases I investigate now of sexual misconduct where the alleged messages happened over Snapchat. And those messages generally are not available after a very short amount of time. And that's a tough thing for investigators. But here, the group that was organizing this, they were able to capture these messages. So generally, you can't save the Snapchat message on your phone without the other person being notified that it was being saved, and you don't want to do that with someone who you're trying to document is engaged in sexual misconduct. But you can have another device that takes a photo or captures the screen, and then you can show that. So it does show intent because Snapchat is a way to communicate with a young person in a way that the sender, in this case the defendant, would likely think these messages are not going to be preserved. And also Snapchat is a common way of communicating of young people. So that might have even given him more reason to believe this really is an underage person and I'm not being deceived and it's really someone who's older and trying to document that I'm engaged in bad acts. So that does go to their intent to communicate this way, in this explicit way with someone they thought was underage over a medium that would disappear.
Right. It lulls them into a false sense of security because on Snapchat, you get a notification, like you said, when someone takes a screenshot or saves a message or whatever. I mean, I remember in college, friends, nothing like this, but one person would have their phone up and the other would grab and take a picture of it to not notify the other person of a screenshot, you know. But in this case, the predator poachers Long Island definitely were going above and beyond to make sure that they have the receipt. And that leads into my next question in all of this. The fact that we have the receipt, we have these messages that were explicit, that were exchanged, that is great for prosecutors, but for his defense, I mean, how does he even combat that?
Right. Well, often the defense in a case like this is that the person did not really intend to have the type of interactions that they were saying they wanted to have. And these messages are so explicit, they're so ongoing that it's hard to see that being a winning argument for the defense. But I've seen that in other cases where someone says, oh, I was joking, or I didn't really mean that. And they might also try to say that they were entrapped, that the other person was suggesting this type of interaction first. So that's a big part of when law enforcement or private groups arrange these conversations. It's really important that the defendant be the one initiating a lot of the explicit conduct, explicit language, so that way there's no entrapment argument. But ultimately, in cases like this, it usually comes down to a plea bargain where there's overwhelming evidence and the defendant is trying to get the best plea deal that they can. Maybe that's a non-incarceratory sentence or something else, because the overwhelming evidence is hard to get past if you're a defendant here.
I think going through and researching this case, I agree with you. There is an overwhelming amount of evidence. I mean, 76 pages, I believe, worth. Plus, we have video of all of this. And that leads into the next thing. Not only do we have the messages written from his phone, you know, he texted. I guess there could be a defense maybe. Oh, somebody took my phone. It wasn't me. I mean, it seems outlandish, but people have done it before. However, something I don't think that he really could defend is on video, when he's approached outside of his school, he fesses up and admits, yeah, that was me. Verbally, we have the man saying these things and saying, yeah, that was me.
Then Mark openly admits that he downloaded it on my cloud, etc. I mean, can he recant, or is that a nail in the coffin, so to speak?
That is extremely important evidence, because we live in a day and age where it is so easy to fake messages like this. With AI and other things, you could go online and you could take any individual you know and you could quickly create a fake text chain or Snapchat message that would show them trying to reach out to a young underage person for sexual activity. So how do we know that it's not fake? There's different ways. One is his admission when they confront him. Another is law enforcement actually getting his devices and imaging them to see whether communication is on his phone or his computer, although he could have gotten rid of those. So having him actually say that is important, so he can later persuasively argue that these were fabricated conversations.
Something else that was admitted in all of this is that he said on his cloud he has access to a motherload or a mega, something like that, amount of child porn. Now, I'm wondering about this too, because sometimes we see federal charges in relation to child porn because it could be, you know, a kid from whatever state and he's in New York, and it could be, you know, crossing the state lines, etc. And I haven't seen anything of the like about that. Do you think it's possible that more charges could come down in the way of these child porn allegations, especially if he already readily admitted it on camera?
Absolutely, and I'm sure law enforcement is digging into this deeper, and federal law enforcement often has oversight over this type of material. The question isn't just what he was possessing, the question is also where he got it from. So if he has a lot of child porn on his computer, law enforcement is going to want to know, well, who's disseminating this? Is it another person that he knows who's sending it? Because they're going to want to go after that person too. Or is it some website or some other source that's sending him the child pornography? And then law enforcement want to know, well, how are these images of child pornography originated? Were they originated through fake imagery, or the real people who were photographed and videoed in the child pornography? So this is usually the very beginning of what law enforcement is going to look at, both for him and for other people involved. Because if he has that much child pornography, it's unlikely that he created all of it. He probably got at least some from somewhere else.
Right, where did he get it is so important. And if he's not the only one, to your point, if he had, says that he has, there's got to be more people involved in this, and more people who should be held accountable for breaking the law and abusing children in this way. So put a pin in that, all of our scandals go on years, and maybe something down the line with all of that. Now, something else I wanted to talk about, really one of the reasons for doing this case is the fact that he's a teacher. He is married to another teacher in the district. Then he has two young children. I believe their ages are 2 and 3. And oftentimes in our story, we talk about mitigating factors. But to me, these are huge aggravating factors. He's married. He talks about his wife to this young woman, who he believes is a young woman, I should say, who he believes is 13. Mentions his wife and says, "Oh, you're prettier than my wife." I mean, a dig at the very least, but talks about how he knows that he's married, he has kids, he's around children.
Yeah, when the Cisco says, "Hey,
teacher, for goodness
you're
sake."
pretty
I mean,
wife to a
what do you make of
14
all of these things? Would prosecutors highlight these aspects of his personality, his background, his career, if this were to go to jury trial?
I love when I watch the numbers talk.
Right, well, for the spouse, you can't imagine something more heartbreaking than finding out not only is your spouse being unfaithful to you, but is trying to do with an underage person while disparaging you. And that's just a horrible set of circumstances. Being an educator is not going to be a mitigating factor for him because he put himself in a position of trust with children when the actual crime he's accused of is violating the trust of a child who is supposedly writing with him. It turns out to be an older person, but he doesn't know that. So that's not going to be a mitigating factor. If anything, it's going to be a cause of concern for law enforcement to want to know, well, he's trying to interact with one 13-year-old who he thinks is in a sexual way. What about all these other students who he's he's interacting with every day in a live setting? Is there any alleged misconduct there? I'm sure law enforcement will be looking at that. So I don't see any mitigating factors from educational career or from having children. That's definitely not seen as a mitigating factor. And the whole situation is heartbreaking for his family.
Yeah, to me it seems like it's worse, like adding fuel to the fire. The fact that he's innocently shooting out, that he has kids. So, if you're a parent, you don't want your child to ever be the victim of anything. He should be putting himself in the path of the parents of the alleged 13-year-old who wouldn't want any bad to happen to her. Thankfully, the 13-year-old is not real. But I guess let's talk more about him being a teacher. Now, the Suffolk County Police Department has specifically said, we are investigating this. We're working alongside with the district. They're being very cooperative. At this point, it doesn't seem like there were any students who were victims in all of this. But to your point, they've got to go through and check on all of this, right? Because he did have access to all of these kids. So what would that investigation look like? Because it's got to be very sensitive if there are any victims. Number one. Number two, these are children, elementary school kids, who some probably don't even know what we're talking about, nor should they, because they're way too young. So does that make things more tricky?
Right. There's a lot of complications here. I mean, the first thing you want to do is see if there's been any complaints against him that the school district is aware of. And maybe those complaints were looked at and deemed to be unfounded because there wasn't enough evidence. But maybe now with this additional information that law enforcement has, they'll look at them again. The other thing is sexual molestation of young people is very underreported because there's a lot of self-doubt, misplaced self-blame, people afraid to speak up, people, as you just said, not even understanding what's happening and confused to say anything. So just a lack of reporting doesn't necessarily mean that there was no misconduct. So usually you have law enforcement or other investigators maybe start with a sample of students that have been in his classroom or interacted with him with other ways and talk to them in a general way about their experience. You don't want to alarm them by obviously talking to young people in a sexually explicit way, but maybe just saying, did he ever bother you? Did he ever do anything that made you feel bad? Did he ever touch you? You could start asking those questions, but if this person's been a teacher for a long time and they've had many, many students, it's hard to know. And one final thing on this topic is often when someone's name gets out there like this, it emboldens other people to step forward, or people may say, I doubted myself that this was wrong, but now I see that there's a problem here. So I've seen many cases where more people come forward after the initial allegations are publicized like this.
It's so sad when you break it down like that. People gaslighting themselves to think, oh, maybe that was a dream. Maybe it wasn't real. Maybe I'm overreacting, whatever. And I hope that there's no one who was affected in this case, or really any. But I mean, if they were, maybe you're right, that this could embolden them to come forward, and hopefully we'll know more about that soon. I wanted to end on talking about the defense, because we've talked a lot about the prosecution, because there is, a lot of evidence in this case. The defense, does he even have one? What do you expect? Would this end in a plea deal? I know you touched on this earlier. Could he even bring a strong defense?
If these messages are real, that they're not fabricated, and we have no reason to think they are fabricated. So if we're assuming that they're real and he made that admission on video, then I don't see any factual defense by him. I think in a situation like this, you're usually looking for a plea bargain. So if he doesn't have a criminal record, his attorney may try to get a non-incarceratory sentence where he has probation. They're going to argue in court probably that there were no real live victims who were hurt. Obviously, this is very dangerous for society to have someone thinking that they're interacting sexually with a 13-year-old, but I'm sure his lawyers will press the fact that no real person was hurt in this instance, that he might not have a criminal record. I think they'll use that to try to get the best plea deal they can, but I don't see an argument here based on the facts we have to get an acquittal.
I don't see that either. I mean, I guess I do want to report right now, he is innocent until proven guilty. There has not been a conviction at this point, but there is some pretty compelling evidence that the state of New York has. So to your point, we might see a plea deal down the line. I guess we'll have to wait and see. For today, though, Dan Shore, thank you for coming on and walking us through this really tragic and difficult case.
And I'm going to end on that. Let's get to this right here. This is a good one. So, talk about victims, all that shit, yeah. So, let's talk about Brandon. So, for a minute, let's talk about Brandon. Remember, we all know that Brandon, you know, you got to talk to the pocket community as well. You know, we all do. We get like infrastructure, prep, poetry, community, so Brandon told his story to people. I guess first he told Nunya, and Nunya said, Brandon, shut up. Don't tell like an NPF or crew. You're right. Yeah, we'll get wind about that. Brandon said, and NTF and Brandon, get over here. Tell what happened. Then all of a sudden, yeah, she's on the butt. I'm a chomo. You're a chomo. You're a big kitty toucher. You touch kids, Brandon. You're a pedophile. You're a convicted sex offender, you piece of shit. Fuck off. Get out of the community. And a year later, Brandon had a stream, and Jason Kale. It was very understanding. And we're going to get to this stream right now. Shall we? I'm going to turn the stream down all the way.
Hello there.
What's up, man?
Oh, nothing much. You?
Oh, chilling, dude. Just, you know, it's morning. Good morning.
You want to go first? So
I'm going to stop for a second because Jason Kale was very understanding and know what Brandon's talking about. Unlike MT Meth where Donna Judith Ray. No, Donna Judith Ray has a habit flinging bullshit to the fucking wind, hoping it sticks to the wall. Like sitting there saying, yo, ABC victim shame me. Seeing me rapes kids and kidnaps kids at a park. Yeah. I mean, NTF has a vivid mind. But anyways, let's get to it. I'm not shutting up. Muting!
Dude, I haven't been this weak in a long time. I'm not used to it.
Yeah.
You know, oof. I think I have sleep insomnia. Something.
I feel you, man.
Yeah. I feel you, Brandon.
Do you want to go first?
I mean, I find myself
what do you mean? I don't know.
You want me to go first?
Well, why don't you go ahead?
Like I told you.
Yeah.
Well, I just, yeah, I don't know how to put this, but I'm just told a story of what happened about me last year, you know, almost last year.
What exactly did happen, bro?
Alright, so last year, I went on Nanya's handle last year almost, you know. They say I got falsely accused of being the chomo. Yeah, and she's like, and she was gonna, and her people, I don't remember what she's actually said. I think she said like NTF is gonna spin it around that they're quote unquote chomo.
Well, the thing about it is NTF has a history of spinning it. I mean, she made a video about this. Don't forget this nigga. Yeah, Brandon is a chomo. Oh, hey guys, don't forget. Yeah, CNN Tom Brittany is a convicted rapist and a serial killer. And he kidnaps kids too. Really? I don't think NTF. You should worry more about your fucking kid that's still alive. What do you feed him besides fucking hot dogs and macaroni and cheese, bitch? You should worry about your child instead of turning tricks to turn the blade and boom, dumb fucking cunt. Unreal. Anyway, back to the program.
And yeah, so I told NTF, I told a story, what happened, and to see, to believe it. So she like, pull up. Like, all right, I'll pull up. So what happened?
What's the thing that you fucking ready? Pull up. Come on, be a man, pull up.
Ever since, people just believe I'm a pedo without proof, Right? To me, you can't just believe somebody without proof. I mean, if you're gonna call somebody a pedo without proof, that's not fair. You have to have facts about using somebody.
Why do they call you it, bro?
Because the main reason, because I told them I was on the RCO list, which isn't true. I'm not on the list. I've never been on the list. I just made a whole story up, so I can just get out the drama for a long time.
I don't get accused.
Because it's becoming so vile.
I know what it's like getting accused.
I couldn't figure out how to escape. It's like
bullshit.
It's like that toxic relationship. You think it's gonna change, and it never change. Yeah. It gets vile and vile. So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna tell a story.
Yeah.
So I made a story about me being falsely accused, being a chomo, and being on the sex offender list.
Yeah, because like I made a story and say, hey, you're right, guys. I fucking kidnapped and raped Lizzie Bong. How about that? Yeah, that's fake. It's false. There's, everybody knows about that case. Knows the real perpetrator is in jail. And Lizzie Bong's body was found in Kittitas County, 85 miles east of Seattle. But the fun motherfucker's been saying, oh, I'm the person that did it. Oh, I was so bored, I decided to stalk a underage girl years ago. And they still go around and say, okay, just like the motherfuckers go around and say, Indian rape case and unsolved case is my fault. Like Gadoff saying, I kidnapped a 5-year-old girl from bowling alley. Unreal.
To see people are going to eat it up, and they did for almost a year. I mean, and I keep telling them, show the proof. Show the proof.
Show the proof. Show your facts.
Show the proof about it,
Show your fucking receipts. Yep.
Oh, whoops. Sorry, I was accidentally muted. I heard you. I just couldn't talk.
Oh, you're fine.
Well, I get what you're saying. Like, if you're not on the list, you're technically not convicted. But did you, like, I don't know, man. I don't know why you told him that story. I wouldn't tell him. I would never say that because people are going to get the wrong idea no matter what.
And Jason,
so what did you say? Right. Like, you got falsely.
Right. I just couldn't figure out. What's that? You're breaking up.
I just meant like.
Well, and Jason doesn't make a good point. Like when Clown Force, when Clown said to the people, they're attacking him. And remember, Clown said, Oh, you're right, gun. I killed that girl in the bathroom and fucked your ass. Should I say that? Absolutely not. No. Like me, I should say, yeah, I kidnapped that bitch. I'm into my whore. I raped Lizzie Bond. I raped that bitch. Should I say that? Fuck no. That was stupid of me. But you know what? Sometimes you ain't angry enough and pissed off enough. You gotta do what you gotta do. Just to fuck with these circle jerks and the Pratt Betty. You know what I'm saying?
Like, what was the story that you told them that you were like false accused of? Like, because I'm just curious, like what you told them.
Okay, I told him that I got accused of, or twice. I mean, I told a story. I got falsely accused twice. First one, I was about like 10 years old. This is like, I don't know, 10 years old, so, or 12 years old. Back in like 2010, 28, around that time. So the first story, I said I got falsely accused of try helping a neighbor, which they couldn't find proof because there's no proof, you know. In the second story, same thing, but it was more serious. In the second story, it was basically about I was wrestling with my dad's old friend's daughter, and she accused me of touching her. It's my story. So it's about I had to go through all this stuff, therapy, and getting on the RCO list, all that stuff. They couldn't find evidence on it, you know. They couldn't find anything that I committed a crime. And I told them that, and so they just ate it up, like, oh, it's true. Because you said it's on the YouTube. You believe it. Yeah. So they just believe anything on the internet without proof. It's like, show the proof. How do you know I'm a chill boy? Can you? I keep telling them almost a year, Jason. Find the proof about me. You know? Like, I'm not a chill boy. I don't like, yeah.
Oh, I was just going to say.
I don't like things.
I understand. Well,
yeah.
Here's what I would say, like, they're probably thinking is, like, just look at it from their perspective real quick. Just, you know, I'm not saying you're wrong or anything. I'm just, you know, just look at it from their perspective. Pretend you're them. And,
right.
If you're like a cop, right, and somebody comes up to you and is like, oh my God, I stole this car, like, and they didn't really steal it, but they just say that, the cop might be like, oh shit, I got to arrest this guy. And people do confess, like, to shit they didn't do. That does happen.
Right. Yeah, exactly. It's, what is it? Proving guilty until you're innocent.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
So they're like, just like the cop would have to do, they would have to make sure that that person didn't really steal the car, and they would arrest them and all that stuff, and then find out, and then let them go later, you know? But so
right, exactly. I mean, that's what I'm saying. ATF is calling me Chomo, all these people, yeah, Chomo, Brandon, think that's what you believe the story. It's not my fault. I just want to get out the YouTube drama because people are being nasty to each other. They're like doxing each other. I see it. Like, they're taking us on a whole nother different level. Like, so they think it's okay to go after people's families because their feelings are on the internet. If you can't handle the internet, get off the internet.
That is right.
Yeah, I made a whole story of it. I lied about it. I mean, cry about it. I mean, if they get mad I don't know if you're familiar with Ben and Gray's sport.
A little bit. I've seen like clips.
Yeah, so yeah, I go over there. Yeah, I go over there and hang out with them, and I like to chill over there. But sometimes I get harassed by the other people from the drama. You know. Hey, what's up, Zane? Yeah, so like, it's like just leave me alone. Like, go away. And we're like telling, oh, Bernie's a chomo, like, and I tell Matt C, like, show the proof, dude. Show the proof. I mean, you guys believe a story with no proof. There's no proof.
So like, what's if you had it like, I guess your way or whatever, what's the best outcome for you that like, if you're really innocent, like, are you, and I'm not, saying you're guilty, I'm just speaking hypothetically, are you like trying to get like back to where you could go into chat or like in Nunez or NTFs or whatever?
I really don't care going back and talk into the chat. I don't care. I mean, I don't care anymore. I just like to do my own thing, you know? I just want to get out the drama for a long time. I mean, I found a way. Just made a story up. Just tell a lie. And people believe it, you know? Must be in, they think it's the internet, so everything is true.
Yep, that's the fucked up part.
Yeah, I mean,
I understand what you mean.
I like your stuff, Jason. Yeah. I like your stuff. Yeah, your stuff is really intriguing. Like, it's different. It's like, you're not afraid to speak on your mind. Like this is real. It's not just like sugar-coated bullshit. People like, I mean, it's okay to talk about those type of topics, you know? Because it's not really discussed in schools.
Of course, brother. Of course, that's true. But my question, because what I'm curious about, because I'm just kind of learning about this, is like if you let's say like you want to tell a lie to get something over with, just get it done with, right? You don't want to deal with it anymore, so you just lie. Why would you, and I'm just curious, why would you say that you did do something like accidentally had a mistake, with your dad's friend's daughter and then that other girl?
Well, I didn't.
Why wouldn't you say that, like, no, I didn't even meet anyone, I didn't even do anything, because
I told him, I said it. I said I got falsely accused of doing the crimes. I mean,
okay, but
yeah, and the cops couldn't find evidence on both cases. That was my whole story, and people, had to believe it, ate it up. That was my whole main point. Made a lie, made a story up. Tell a story, and to see people are gonna believe it or not. That was part of it. And the other part, like I said, I just didn't want to be part of the drama anymore. Because people are so vile on the internet. It's like they take it so seriously. Like, it's like a reality to them. It's like it's the internet. Internet and real life is not the same.
Yes, they say.
I like to go on the internet and it's different.
I agree. So
people are so fake too.
So I guess one of my questions is, just out of curiosity, like if it was a false allegation, right, and you were not guilty, and you let's just say let's just say you still had to go to therapy, right? Like you did, and it's whatever, no big deal. Like a lot of people go to therapy. I had to go to therapy, you know, when I was a teenager, because there was, well, right when my, anyways, when my, you know, my stepdad and my mom got divorced, and all the kids, they made us go to therapy, whether we wanted to or not, because and so I get it, right? When you have to go, and you just have to go and get it over with, right? And
it's like a chore to me.
Yeah, oh yeah, it sucks. But my question is, what kind of talks and stuff did you have at therapy, and like how long did you have to go?
I had therapy on boundaries because I wasn't taught boundaries when I was a kid. You know?
Yeah.
I have autism, so I got diagnosed for autism when I was a teenager.
Me too. Yeah. I was diagnosed with autism.
Oh, okay.
So a lot of when autistic people are not taught about boundaries, they don't know what's right or wrong. I mean, like they don't. Some autistic people don't understand.
And Brand's right.
Yeah, I mean, I had therapy for a lot of things. I mean, mostly helped me because I wasn't taught those things when I was a kid.
Yeah, I get it. And autism is one of those things where like you can be a little slower to learn something, but then like other things like maybe like there's kids or guys with autism who can like rebuild a computer when they're 6 years old, but they might not be able to even tie their shoes. You know what I mean?
Jason's right.
And because there's some things they can learn and some things they can't.
Yep.
Like as well.
Right.
So I guess I want to know, and you know, I'm just curious, so I learn all the information and sides. So like when you did like with the situation with your dad's daughter's friend, when that happened, like what was your interaction with her that set it off? I'm just curious. Like what did she say? Did she lie or?
Yeah, the cops said they couldn't find evidence of me touching her improperly. They said the girl was changing her story a lot. Her story wasn't straight. You know, it was all over the place. The whole thing happened because she wanted to wrestle with me. You know, I told her no, I don't want to. And I finally gave in because I don't want to, you know, have her bug me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It broke up. I'm sorry. It broke up. Can you say that one more time? My bad. It's my internet.
All right. No, you're fine. The whole thing happened because she wanted to wrestle me. Like I didn't want to wrestle her, and I was wearing my boxers, and she wanted to wrestle, so she went into our room, and we were wrestling. I can't say the P word. My wiener fell out, and she freaked out, ran upstairs, told my half brother, "Hey, Brandon's pee fell out."
Yeah.
Then she like told her parents that I touched her. The cops did an investigation, couldn't find evidence, so the DA had to drop my charges. The reason I was on the RCO because it was part of a program. It came with probation and therapy. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So what was, just out of curiosity, dude, I've been on probation before. It was because of drinking thing. Like I got caught. I like guns. If you watch my channel, you probably know. And I was drinking at a party, and I got into a shoving match. Like not a big deal, but one of the neighbors one of the neighbors called the cops because we were being loud. And so the cops came, and I had my handgun on me, and I was drinking, so I got a misdemeanor for that. I didn't have it out like waving it. It was just in my holster still, but you know, you can't do that, and I forgot to take it out. And so I had one year. Yeah. I had 1 year of probation, and it sucked. I had to do like call every morning to see if I had to do like a drug test, and you can't drink alcohol, you can't do this, you can't do that. So I guess like, well, you were young, right, when it happened, like underage?
Yeah. The first one I was about between 10 and 12. The second time I was 14. Back in 2014. No, I was 16 back in 2014.
Oh, okay. So you were born in 1998?
7.
Oh, okay. So it just, yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
I was born 1990. I was born 1992, so I'm just a little bit older. Well, so what kind of things what kind of, like, other than therapy, what kind of things did you have to do, bro? Did you have to, like, on probation, did they like check on you, or?
Yeah, I had my probation officer and a social worker and all that stuff. I had to went to therapy like twice a week.
And what did you talk about? What did you have to talk about, bro? That must have been boring.
Just what's right, what's wrong, that stuff. Like when it's okay to hug somebody and ask for, consent to touch what that person.
I get it, bro. Well,
fucking yummy craving.
Well, it's good that that's over with. Sorry, and the second one, you didn't. What happened? You didn't get in trouble that bad when you were 16?
No, they couldn't find anything on it. When they didn't find evidence on me, they like, all right, you're off the RCO list. You're cleared because they couldn't find anything. That's why they call me a chomo, because I was on the RCO list.
Boom.
Like they didn't NTF didn't let me give me a chance to explain why I was on the list. They just automatically assume because most, a lot of people are RCO list, they touch kids.
Yeah,
like not all the time. I mean, you literally can go outside and pee in public. Guess what? You're on the sex offender list because you showed your private part in the public.
Yep.
You know what? Brand's right.
I get it.
Brand's right. You can get arrested and become a sex offender for peeing in public.
And I got a misdemeanor.
He's right.
Just exposure. That's how I went on the RCO list.
Oh, so how did? But
you're on the RCO list because you must touch the child. No, I didn't.
Well, you didn't pee in public, right? It was something else on accident.
What's that?
I said, you didn't pee in public. It was something else on accident, right?
No, these exposures. If you show your private part, pee or not, like, let's say you just whip your penis out in public, and if somebody reports to the cops, you're like, and the cops did an investigation and find out you did it, yeah, you can be on the sex offender list because you showed your penis in the public.
So
I mean, yeah.
So who is the girl in the who is the girl in the second one?
She was my old dad's friend, daughter. You want a story about her parents, or it doesn't really matter?
Yeah, I do, dude. through these both times, like, it must have been hard on you.
We're going
and
back.
so I had 1 year.
Right.
I had 1 year of probation, and
I didn't really know what Mike was muted.
it sucked.
For fuck's sake,
I had to do
We're going
like
back.
call every morning to see if I had to do like
Fuck
a
that. We're
drug
going back
test,
now.
and you
All
can't
right,
drink
no problem.
alcohol.
Right.
You can't do this, you can't do that. So I guess like, well, you were young, right, when it happened, like underage.
Yeah. The first one I was about between 10 and 12. The second time I was 14. Back in 2014. No, I was 16 back in 2014.
Oh, okay. So you were born in 1998.
7.
Oh, okay. So it just I get it.
Yeah.
I was born 1990. I was born 1992, so I'm just a little bit older. Well, so what kind of things?
Right.
What kind of, like, other than therapy? What kind of things did you have to do, bro? Did you have to, like, on probation? Did they like check on you, or?
Yeah, I had my probation officer and a social worker and all that stuff. And I had to went to therapy like twice a week.
And what did you talk about? What did you have to talk about, bro? That must have been boring.
Just what's right, what's wrong, that stuff. Like when it's okay to hug somebody and ask for, consent to touch what that person.
I get it, bro. Well, well, it's good that that's over with. And the second one, you didn't. What happened? You didn't get in trouble that bad when you were 16?
No, they couldn't find anything on it. And when they didn't find evidence on it, they like, all right, you're off the RCO list. You're cleared because they couldn't find anything. That's why they called me a chomo, because I was on the RCO list. Like they didn't NTF didn't let me give me a chance to explain why I was on the list. They just automatically assumed because most, a lot of people are RCO list to touch kids. Hey, like not all the time. You literally can go outside and pee in public. Guess what? You're on the sex offender list because you showed your private part.
That's true. Fine.
In the public.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. You can. Yep. I get it. And
and I got a misdemeanor, distant exposure. That's how I have left the RCO list.
Yep.
Oh, so how did? But
you're on the RCO list because you must touch the child. No, I didn't.
Yes. 1212.
Well, you didn't pee in public, right? It was something else on accident.
What's that?
I said, you didn't pee in public. It was something else on accident, right?
No, these exposures. If you shoulder your private part, pee or not, like, let's say you just whip your penis out in public, and if somebody reports to the cops, you're like, and the cops did an investigation and find out you did it, you can be on the sex offender list because you showed your penis in the public.
So
yeah.
So who is the girl in the who is the girl in the second one?
She was my old dad's friend, daughter. You want a story about her parents, or it doesn't really matter?
Yeah, I do, dude. Sure.
All right. So her parents are junkies. Yeah, her parents are junkies. I don't know if they still are, but at the time they were junkies, and her parents weren't giving the attention she needed. So she found a way to get attention. You know how kids are. I need attention. I need attention. So kids, they don't care if it's positive or negative attention. As long as somebody's giving attention, they're good. So her parents were junkies. I don't know if they still are. So her daughter was like looking for attention, and she found the bad attention, of course.
Yeah.
She didn't care. She wanted good attention. Yeah. Like she just wanted attention from her parents, so she found a way to find it.
So out of curiosity, what like attention did she get, I guess? Like what
the negative.
Exactly? Well, I know, bro, but what kind of like you know, like walk it through what happened on your side and what she did too with you.
Oh, what do you mean by that?
Like so in the second time where you had that whole situation, like what exactly happened? You said she wanted the bad attention. What kind of bad attention do you mean like happened?
The bad attention that it happened. Well, it didn't happen, and she just wanted attention, so she created a way to get attention. By saying I touched her, and which is not true. I didn't touch her. That's why the DA dropped my charges, dismissed them, and I can get off the sex offender list.
What, you get off it, or
it's a kid? What's that?
So you got off it, or you were never on it?
All right, I was on it for a year because it was like it was a big investigation.
Yeah.
So we went to court, and the judge like, hey, we can't find anything on Brandon. Like, there's no evidence. Cops couldn't find anything on it. They did like DNA test on her. They couldn't find anything on her. You know, they couldn't find these things. So they like decided, all right, he's innocent. So they like, all right, you're off the list. No more probation, no more therapy, and yeah.
I get it, man. Well, that's a lot to have to go through. That's a lot of must have been really hard on you.
I mean, yeah, it can happen. It can happen to anybody.
So when you were going through this, like, I guess.
I mean, yes, there are kids gets molested, but you can't accuse somebody being a pedophile without proof.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no proof.
Well, yeah, you know. Well, one thing I guess I'm curious about, like, because through these both times, like, it must have been hard on you emotionally, like, thinking about all this, dealing with all this, like, being accused and stuff. So what kind of stuff did you think about, like, to get over this? This would be difficult when you were young, you know?
I had my dog at the time. It was my emotional supporter, my grandma and my grandparents and my mom, and was, you know, there for me. And my probation officer said, like, Brandon, I know you did nothing wrong. Like, you're a good kid, Brandon. Like, you want to do that to somebody.
Yeah.
Like, I have no attention. So, I mean, I don't like kids that way. I like older women. I always liked older women. I was a teenager.
You know, Brandon makes a good point as well, too. So was I. Man, dude, when I was a teenager in high school in Oklahoma, I was more attracted to my sister's friends. Her friend Alicia, Allison, Cynthia, versus the girls in my high school. Yeah, I had a couple crushes on that. But dude, I was more flirty with my sister's friends, especially Alicia. Yeah. The night my sister buying a Honka Rail, my mom's of the case. Alicia in the backyard, drunk, and I comfort her. And Alicia is like, she said, "Oh God, Tom, you're so handsome. You're such a little hottie." I said, "Thank you." And I told Alicia, I said, "Sweetie, I'm about to go. I gotta go inside because it's late. I want to play some video games, my Super Nintendo, and go to bed." "No, don't leave me, Tom, please. You're such a little sweet little hottie." And okay, I'll say. Yeah. And she want more company. Next thing you know, Alicia and I, she's 22 years old. I'm 15. We're making out. Woo! See, that's the thing. I've never been into check my age. I've always been an old woman. And a week later, Alicia came over to make out with me. She's like, "I want to your first video game." No, she want to teach me how to make out and kiss girls. Yeah. But
yeah, totally. Well, out of curiosity, what did your dad say? Like, how did he help you, or was he mad at you?
No, no, I mean, he's a shitty person. So, all right. So, the judge said the girl and I can't be, within like 100 yards or something. Like, pretty much a restraining order, if you want to say that. So, like, all right. So, like, he's like, and he always invited the the girl's parents over with her. And, like, and my stepmom, like, they can't be together, right? Because we're doing an investigation on Brandon and her. He didn't care. He just wanted his weed and his pills.
Yeah, that's hard.
Hey, Intia, what are you doing nowadays, huh? Did you turn it up later to book there, Donna? What's that? Yeah, you're a fucking good track trick.
He didn't care about my beans. No, because he's like, "Oh, what about my weed? What about my weed? I want my weed." He didn't care. Yeah. He said he called the cops on me because he was protecting me. Like, I don't think calling the cops on your kid is protecting them. It's like, it stops it. You know?
Yeah. Well, did he say, like, when he called the cops, did he say, like, something to you, like that you did something, or why did you do this, or anything like that?
No, he didn't ask me that.
Yeah. So that's all he said, is that he was protecting you. And so, like, is that because the girl went to him and said, like, Brandon did this, and then he called the cops, or was it like you said, "Hey, this is what happened"?
told what happened, so he decided to call the cops. He didn't know what to do. I don't know what to do, so he decided to call the cops on me. I talked to the cops about it.
Yeah, totally, man. I get it. Well, what so do they still come to your channel and bother you? Is like the people in the community? Is that what you mean?
Not all of them, like NTF side, really, especially when I hang out with Ben and Grace.
Oh, NTF and the President is always bad.
They're like, oh, Ben's a chomo. Like, prove it. Because I told a story doesn't mean I am.
Well, just to say, oh, yeah, semen rape kids.
Yeah, I get it. Well, maybe they're just confused about
thank you,
the story. I guess my question is, what would you like me to do about it or help you with? Like, what could I do would like help? You know, because like Grace Thorpe and them, I don't really know, and it's like I don't have a big channel. It's only 400 people or something, you know. So it's like, and they don't listen to me. They don't listen to me, Brandon. They don't like me because of the stuff I say. So you know, they can't handle that.
I know. Yeah, I watch your stuff. I'm not gonna lie. I was watching your stuff about the Jews and stuff like that.
The fuck yeah, man. What's up?
Yeah. I mean, some people can't handle that stuff.
Nope.
Yeah. So my question, and I guess now is like, so what parts were a lie, and then like what parts, like when you told the lie, like the story last time to just get them to stop harassing you, you know, because that's you know, that's hell to be harassed all the time. So you just want to get it over with, right? So you told a lie, and which, you know, we all lie, right? I've lied, we all lie, and especially when we're under pressure, like from all these different people, like you did this, you did that, you didn't do this, you know, you're a chomo, you're whatever. So like when you told that lie, what parts were a lie and what was true? Because a little bit was true about that you had to go to counseling, but like what parts was a lie? I'm just curious is all.
No, the parts was a lie. I'm trying to think. Alright, the parts of a lie that I was, you know, being accused of being a chomo from these people.
Yeah, well, I get that. That's a, you know, that's them lying, right? Calling you chomo.
Yeah.
But like, what did you lie about?
That's why, yeah.
So you didn't obviously lie about going to therapy. You had to do that, and then you had to do your probation. But you're just saying, you lied about like actually touching her, or
well, I never said I touched her.
Okay.
I never touched her. Yeah, that's why the cops dismissed my charges. I mean, I'm just saying, yeah, like if you're gonna believe a story, like actually prove. That's why I wanted to do this. You know, tell my story because I know people are gonna believe it because it's the internet. It must be true.
Yeah, well, some people believe just any old thing, right? You just put it right on the TV, and that means it's true. But really, they lie all the time on TV, on the internet, on the newspaper. Anybody who wants to manipulate anybody, it could be manipulating kids at school, or manipulating someone on the internet, they'll lie, you know, or tell us crazy story that gets headlines, you know.
Right.
Yeah. Well,
like how you know, like the whole, like to me, like how you know I'm a chomo without proof. You can't prove I'm a chomo because you just believe the story. I mean,
true.
I mean, anybody can tell a story.
Yeah,
exactly. Like you have facts with the story. It's like that's why we call it fiction and non-fiction stories for a reason.
Yeah.
You can't say it's true on the internet without proof. That's the way I see it.
Yeah, totally, man. Well, I mean,
like how you know I like how you know I didn't do the crime though, right? Like prove it. Like show me the proof. So like I know I didn't. I know I didn't do the crime. I know I'm innocent. But you like how you know I did it without the proof? I mean, because you said so, Brandon. Okay, anybody can say a story.
Yeah, definitely anybody can.
I mean, you can tell like you said, you can tell a cop, hey, I robbed his car, and the cop's like, okay. So that's that's a good investigation. Man, they can't just believe you.
Yeah, I get it. So like, if I went back and like, let's say, talked about this to say something like, you know, something to them, you know, what would you want me to say or do? Is like, I'm just curious, like how I could, you know, help you is all like with them. Like, what do you want me to say something, or how do you wish it would go? Because they're gonna say, you know, all kinds of stuff, but maybe there's something I could say to help you. What would it be?
I'm not asking to tell anybody let Brendan live or anything like that. I just to me, like if you're gonna believe a story, find all the facts first, then you believe it. You can't use your feelings as facts. You know, facts are.
Especially you, Mr. Steve.
Getting more into this other character, this sidekick, for lack of a better term. Oh, and it's always fun to play this.
Of course, you're hilarious. I'm still in your corner, clown force. FCC over there calling you a chomo. Fucking weak ass. Weak.
Okay. What is he now, though, Blazin? Speaking of Blazin, she happened to say some things I wanted to rebuttal.
Okay, I just want to weigh in on this one thing.
As your sign that you're being raped or you're being trafficked. And the guy who was just talking about the same thing, we were talking about children crossing the street. That fact is very concerning and it contributes to the negativity of the person's character. We had this conversation like 4 or 5 years ago. And it's funny how he's got this pinned comment by Edward S. It's a business transaction. You don't own shit, bro. She takes money so you get laid. And, you know, putting in that work. And I'm thinking, they're talking about
Beauty. Wonder if Beauty's ever been out of his little fuel cage.
when you have to keep in mind, you got to prove I'm some pervert and not some guy just telling jokes. Is in every case, because it wasn't in that case.
And the stuff that I got busted for in my life, there was no cop corruption in that stuff. I made the decision. This guy, he gives people
There it
outs.
is. You hear, listen to that.
Oh, it could have been. There was no cop corruption there.
No progress. Listen to that.
There was no cop corruption there. There was no cop corruption there. There was no cop corruption there. There was no cop corruption.
There was no cop corruption. Per Urban Disciple says, there's no cop corruption. Are you fucking kidding me? Wow. Wow. And we're going to leave it at that. I'm out of my job. Peace out, ladies and gentlemen. Take care, buddy. Fuck you, UD.